Hi everyone, I'm Joe Santacroce, and welcome back to our Career Connections series. Today, we're wrapping up our conversation around the theme of networking and talking specifically about professional associations. Our first guest today is Dr. Walter Tarver III. Dr. Tarver has worked in higher education for over 25 years. He currently serves as Assistant Vice President for Student Transitions, Access, and Retention at Stockton University. Walter, great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Hey, good to see you this morning, Joe.
A couple questions for you. We're talking about professional associations. To start, can you briefly describe the purpose of a professional association?
Yeah, so in my opinion, the professional association serves the purpose of being a resource for professionals who are a part of the particular industry to which that association belongs. So providing them access to best practices, resources like webinars, conferences, and more importantly, networking opportunities to meet other professionals in the field who also serve as an additional resource.
Excellent. So why should students at this point, whether they're first year through senior year, why should they consider getting involved in a professional association now?
Well, I think that they should start early because the professional association provides students something that they're not going to get from a professor or from a textbook. It's going to allow them to get more nuanced information about the field that they're interested in. And more importantly, once they get that information, it's their really first big opportunity to start networking with other professionals in the field.
Okay, absolutely. Final question for you. Just thinking about your own personal, professional development, how has your involvement in professional associations really impacted your career?
It's totally shaped my career. It probably changed it, actually. I recall going to my first conference and I was a career changer. Like, my academic background did not match what I have been doing for a living for the last 25 years. So I was struggling a little bit within my field. And I told myself before I went to this conference, if this doesn't go well, I think I'm going to change careers. And when I got there, the people were incredible. They were so gracious. They really, they took me under their wings and they explained to me how the profession worked, how to take advantage of being a part of a professional association. And it really changed my viewpoint on how I looked at my career and how I could utilize a professional association. It was my first exposure to a professional association. You hear about them, but you don't really know what they do or how they're going to benefit you. But honestly, Joe, it has totally shaped my career. It's changed my life. It's helped me be successful. And one of the things that is really a side benefit from it is I've gained lifelong friends that I could pick up the phone and I could call about a career item. We were just talking about our favorite teams, prior to coming on here. So you form those lasting relationships both professionally and personally. So I'm a staunch advocate of being involved in a professional association as early as possible.
Excellent. Walter, we appreciate the time today. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to have this conversation with us. And who knows, maybe we'll have you as a future guest on another episode.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
You too.
Thanks to Walter for his time today and, of course, his expertise in sharing his information with us. Our next guest is Noah Simon. Noah has worked in career services for over 20 years, with 13 of those being in higher education. He currently serves as the Director of Career and Professional Development at the University at Albany. Noah, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. So the conversation today is around professional associations. A couple questions for you. The first one, can you briefly describe for us really the purpose of a professional association?
The purpose for a professional association is, for you to really enhance your knowledge, create connections, grow as an individual. It's, no matter where you come in as a student, the purpose of an association absolutely is to help you learn more about that field, identify what it is, the careers in that field, where you can go with it. There's just so much knowledge to be gained as from a student perspective, and to gain access to great networking contacts, which are so exciting to see students in the association.
Absolutely. And I think it's a good segue to my next question for you. So regardless if a student is in their first year, anywhere through senior year, why should they consider getting involved now?
A few reasons. One, to be really candid, the price for student association memberships is a fraction in most associations. So it's great to get in as a student where you could be paying as low, some will be free, as low as $10 in a lot of them. So, that's obviously the financial one. But when you show interest as a student, the individuals who are members of these associations, most of them have worked in it for years, and they're just so excited to see newcomers, new members, and students show interest in what they've done forever. So you're going to find mentors, you're going to find guidance, you're going to find advice. And let's be fair, some students are going to find, you know what, maybe this isn't where I want to be. Maybe this isn't the right field for me, but I'm glad I came out. I'm glad I put myself out there. Seeing students step out of their comfort zone and being at these association meetings can be a real step out of a comfort zone, but it's a step that you should take and look to learn, receive guidance, mentorship, and network during these times.
Okay. Last question for you. Just kind of talk about to us, if you can, your personal, how this has really helped you to develop yourself professionally, your involvement in professional association.
Well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. And by here, I literally mean on this call. It's prior to coming into career, I was a member of another field which had its own association, which was so important to me. So I got involved early in my career. The associations I've then been with in career have opened up so many doors. It's allowed me to learn, to make network, to create contacts, to create networks, and given me opportunities that just didn't exist for me. And I always talk about that with professionals in a field. When you're a member of an association, you can get on a committee, you can become part of something. So one of the ones I always talk about is one of the real skills that is great for so many jobs is just to have experience running a budget, understanding how to manage a budget in a professional scenario. Well, being a member of the Eastern Association of Colleges and Employers, of which we're all members, I got to serve as the head of finance before and then ultimately moved into the president's role. But being in that finance role allowed me to oversee a larger budget than I had ever worked with for the association. So the skill development is critical. And when you're early, when you're a student, there are student committees within these associations. Showing that interest, getting involved is going to lead to skills, contacts, and education and experience that you just can't match.
Absolutely, agreed. Noah, we appreciate the time today. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to have a conversation with us. Again, we really appreciate it. And who knows, maybe we'll see you as a future guest on another episode.
I would love to, Joe. Thank you so much for asking.
That's good. My pleasure. Thanks. And thanks to Noah, obviously, for his time and his expertise today, too. If you'd like to further the conversation around professional associations, please go ahead and do so. You can do it a number of ways. Scheduling an appointment via your Handshake account by calling us at 978-542-6406 or by emailing us at career@salemstate.edu. Lastly, don't forget, check out our resources on our website, salemstate.edu/careers, and we'll see you next time.